Mike, as always, I love to defer to you because when we said earlier, or when I said earlier, that there's never been a hotter time in history, I would say, in terms of coin collecting. I think for traditional numismatists out there, they're saying, well, yeah, I've always been a coin collector, but whether it's a lot of the groundbreaking or news-breaking opportunities in the category as a whole, or just the times that we lived in, or when I said earlier, the intrinsic value alone, or the difficulty with which even acquiring silver, if you follow the silver markets, or just what is happening financially around the globe. There are a lot of reasons for people to take a moment and sit back for the next 2 hours, at the very least for the education that you provide. So let's jump in with this one, because I think this is a good launching off point maybe to provide that education, which I always say is priceless, especially if someone is discovering coin collecting or you for the very first time, right?
Yeah, this is a really important coin on a lot of different levels. On a lot of different levels, it's groundbreaking in a lot of ways, which I'll talk about here in just a minute. Obviously, one of the things I think that's really important, and this year brings it to the forefront, I really think, is that there are very few what I would consider to be watershed moments in the numismatic or coin world. The pace of change in numismatics from the United States Mint is glacial at best. We hope for a snail's pace is ultimately what it comes down to. They changed the design of the American Silver Eagle for the first. Remember, the Panda changes every year. The American Silver Eagle changed once in 35 years. By law, it's going to take another 25 years where they can do a second change. So this is literally once in a lifetime opportunity. This is the first full year of issue of this new design change, where they changed from the old heraldic eagle that you see right there, the heraldic eagle, and they changed it to the new eagle in flight. So that is historic. That's a watershed moment. The other thing that's happened from a numismatic standpoint, and I allude to this and talk about it all the time, is the fact that physical silver is almost impossible to get, particularly in the form of the United States coinage. The United States Mint cannot get enough silver. They've released press release after press release. There's been multitudinous articles written about it. The fact that they cannot get silver blanks fast enough. And that has created the problem with this coin, the problem and the opportunity, if you will. Here's the problem. The United States Mint, this was supposed to be released January the 4th, the American Proof Silver Eagle. It was released in April. Okay, it was released in April. And the reason for that is they couldn't get the blanks to make the coin. The blanks are how they strike the coin. And the United States Mint does not make those on their own. They outsource that. And of course, you know, supply chain issues, everybody knows that. They started a couple years ago doing a thing called an enrollment program. Now, in the past, it was not that big of a deal. If you wanted a proof silver eagle, you could order it anytime you wanted from the United States Mint. There was never a supply issue on this coin, all right? Because they just made them all year long, and they were available throughout the year always. They didn't sell this coin out. Well, starting last year, they started selling out the Proof American Silver Eagle. It would take a day or 2 days or right around in there, but it was, you know, a week or 2 weeks, whatever it was. This year was historic in this respect. The United States Mint released a press release about a month or so ago that said because of the popularity of their enrollment program, the entire mintage of the 2022 West Point Minted Proof Silver Eagle that you see right there is sold out pre-release. So in other words, they did not release a single solitary coin to the public on release day. Actually, that's not true. On release day, they released 77 coins. 77 coins, and of course it sold out in approximately 100th of a second. Is what happened. 77 coins. Normally they have a couple 100,000 coins to sell on release day and then continue to make them. The United States Mint announced everything was pre-sold. Everything is gone for the year on this. They will not be making any additional quantity. It was a sellout before release. That has never happened in the history of the United States Mint. And as a matter of fact, they're going to do an S-minted Proof Silver Eagle a little later in the year. They announced that is already pre-sold out. They're going to do a West Point Minted Burnished Special Edition American Silver Eagle. That is pre-sold out. The fact of the matter is the United States Mint has completely and totally sold every single special issue Silver Eagle for the entire year as of today. As of today. That has never, ever happened in the history of the United States Mint. Well, what we have here is our first day of issue, because we're one of the largest U.S. Mint accounts, and because we bought some in the secondary market, we went out there and got enough Silver Eagles to do. Now, normally our addition on this is 2,000, 3,000, 4,000 coins. 1,161, I believe, is the lowest edition we've done in years, and because the coins aren't available because they're completely and totally sold out from the United States Mint. So we've got the coins. We've got them first day of issue, which is 100% exclusive to us here at HSN. Additionally to that, we have got these certified absolutely perfect. So you remember, the higher the grade, the more it's worth in coin collecting, as in any collecting. That matters to value. It matters to collectability. Then we have the exclusivity of presentation with the flag core ANACS holder there in the first day of issue. First day of issue ANACS you can only get on HSN. Additionally to this, it's hard enough getting the coins, but try getting the packaging. If you have it right there, Shannon, can you show us the Red Oak presentation box that comes with this?
In fact, Mike, I was going to ask about that, because normally, now we sell these for about what, close to that $40 mark, or?
I think it's closer to 30, actually.
30? Okay.
When we have them.
Okay.
They've been back ordered like everything else on the planet for about 1.5 years. We sell literally we use hundreds of thousands of these in the course of a year. We have been so behind, it's insane how far we've been behind on these. Finally got some in. We are going to include it with this. So what this does is it basically puts it in the $250 range for a first day of issue proof Silver Eagle that we actually have in stock. So please understand what this is from a collecting standpoint. So let's kind of review. First full year of issue of the brand new design. So that is historic. That's incredible. That's collectible. First day of issue. So that's exclusivity of design, if you will, or release. In terms of release, we also have the first day of issue, always an additional designator of value that we don't actually charge extra for. And the ANACS first day of release is 100% exclusive to us here at HSN. You cannot get that anyplace else. Then we have the exclusivity of presentation, which is what you see with the eagle in the label, and then the flag core that you have there from ANACS, and you have that entire thing. So you have every single one of these levels of collectibility. And then when we talk about this just as a coin, the fact that for the very first time in history, even in the huge transition year last year where they changed the design from the old design to the new design, they did not sell out pre-release. This is the time, and the only time in the history of the United States government, these sold out pre-release. They're gone for the year already. They were supposed to be released in January. They weren't released until April. That's because of the silver shortage. And that's created some very significant things and very significant problems in the industry. There's just not enough Silver Eagles. And I'm talking about regular Mint State Silver Eagles. Traditionally, understand the Mint State Silver Eagle, the United States Mint does not sell to the general public. They only sell them through a system, what are called authorized purchasers. There's 12. The United States Mint charges what's called a premium, more than the silver melt. And then the APs charge a little premium on top of that. Well, that premium has tripled to quadrupled in value, has tripled to quadrupled over the course of this to levels that we have never seen, and that is 100% driven by demand. There's far more demand than there is supply of American Silver Eagles. That's just the fact of the matter. There's just no getting around that. And that has trickled over into the production issues for proof Silver Eagles. They were supposed to do another Morgan & Peace silver dollar this year, which of course they absolutely positively loved, right? They absolutely positively, everybody loved that. They're supposed to do another one this year. They had canceled the program because they can't get the silver. So it does two things. It creates immediate sellout in this, and it creates the fact that without the silver, they can't make any additional quantity of the proof Silver Eagle. So the proof Silver Eagle, both West Point Mint and San Francisco Mint, is already sold out for the year. The S Mint hasn't even been released yet. The burnished Silver Eagle, which usually also is available throughout the year, is completely and totally sold out for the year. So understand what is happening. There are just not enough coins. And understand there's nothing that's going to be released between now and December that's going to fill that gap. It is what it is. Every single coin is now sold out in April. You see some movement, significant movement in the price of gold and silver here. That is starting to match the demand that is created by the premium movement, which is something I've never ever seen. I mean, the premiums now for ungraded, uncertified American Silver Eagles are starting to run into 50 or 60% over bullion pricing. That's just the price from wholesalers. If you buy 50,000 Eagles, you have to pay a 50 to 60% premium to melt. And then by the time it gets to that, American Silver Eagles, uncertified and ungraded, have really never sold for double melt value. That's common now. That's the price, double or even more of melt value. We've never seen that. Now add in Mint State 70. Now add in Proof 70. Now add in first day of issue. Now add in each coin individually numbered. Now add in the exclusivity of presentation and provenance. Add all of those things together, and now you understand why numismatics, I mean, it is an absolutely spectacular year for numismatics. And then this coin, add in the red oak presentation box, and you can see. Now, I know this is the first time we've offered this in prime time. I think it's really important for us to understand we had 1,161 of these coins. Our quantities now, I believe, are significantly less than that. This might be our only primetime presentation. I don't know. I suspect, you know, we started the show with probably about 1,100 or so available coins. I suspect we're significantly under that now.
Absolutely. In fact, Mike, I can actually elaborate a little further. We're in the hundreds remaining. And the one thing to be crystal clear about this and fully forthright, as we always are in our shows, but especially in the coin collector category, because it is unlike, I think, any other business that or product category that we have here at HSN, is when you hear those quantity stories, you have to understand, even though Mike is a force and an icon in the industry, he is subject to the law of supply and demand and the availability. When you think in terms of, say, even a movie release, like as an example, I bought my tickets for the new Jurassic Park movie that is released in June. I bought my tickets a month ago, okay? The movie's not sold out. The movie's not sold out. The movie hasn't been released yet, but you know, the movie's not sold out. This is sold out. This is sold out from the United States Mint. So if that helps put it in the broader perspective, let alone categorically, it is everything that Mike describes. It is the genuine article. It comes with that red oak presentation box. And you know what, and Chris, I'll put this back again, but let's see if I can do this with my dexterity issues. My arthritis has not been really cooperative the last couple of days. But when you're giving this as a gift, and certainly if you're thinking Father's Day, if you are thinking for grads and dads, I mean, this really does make a stunning presentation. But more importantly, it is something that you absolutely should consider, whether you're an avid numismatist and coin collector or whether you are putting your toe in the water for all of the things that Mike described, whether it's the limited availability, the sold out status, the fact that this will probably be the only primetime airing because we are already in the hundreds remaining on this. It is on that flex pay, which is also really, that's just, they just don't do that in the world of coin collecting in the real world. They just don't. So that means literally for less than $100, you can get this at home on PayPal, any Apple Pay, any major credit card, and literally hold that weight, hold that sense of history in your hands, and then decide for yourself with a 30-day unconditional money-back guarantee. But as I often say with Mike, he cannot make more. Don't worry, he will not make more because he does, or he is not going to rock orange is the new black, as we often say. But I can tell you this, Mike. That's why I said this is a really good launching off point for people to listen and learn from you. I always say that the information that you provide is priceless, but the quantities that we have are the quantities that we have. It is not a back order or a reorder situation. And the other thing about this, and I'll just mention this real quickly, and I'll remind people throughout the show, when we talk about the fact there are just a few hundred remaining, more people shop with you after our shows than they even do during the shows. So whenever we give a quantity update of severely limited during a broadcast, you absolutely should act now. Because it's really kind of true. Well, it's not kind of true. People watch your shows, they record them in many cases, they watch the playback, they go to hsn.com, and then they make that buying decision. And then sadly, in many cases, it could be too late. And here's a clear indication of that, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. To go back to your movie analogy, which I liked, the only difference in that is they'll run that movie until people stop showing up. Okay, now imagine that movie scenario where you know there's 5 shows. That's it. That's all there's ever going to be. You have 5 opportunities, 5 dates to see it in the theater, and you'll never see it again. Now, what's that ticket situation going to be? That's kind of the thing that we're in here. Like I said, we can't manufacture any more of these. The U.S. Mint frowns on that. as you mentioned, I'm not making any coins on my own. We are bound by the laws of supply and demand, as you said, and we're bound by exactly what the Mint does. What they make is what they make. There's no additional coins that are ever going to be made available. That's what the situation is. And all of the available coins were spoken for prior to release. That's never happened in the history of the United States Mint. Now, within that, we have got this tiny little edition of 1,161 coins that is now, like you said, into the hundreds. That is 100% exclusive to us and perfect. And I want to talk about that in a minute. The single most important determining factor of value in numismatics and coin collecting, as in any collecting, is condition. The higher the grade, the more it's worth. We grade on a 70-point scale, as this coin is right here. It's proof 70. There's no 71 or 70.1 or anything like that. That is absolute perfection. That makes a significant difference. So this is the first full year of issue of the new design. If we go back to the first full year of issue of the old design, 1986, in a proof 69, it's going to be about this price, $284.95. Proof 70, it's going to be closer to $1,000. That's the difference grade makes. That's the difference 1 point of grade makes. Now, we have been able to go back in 1986 and find a few what we call first day of issues. I think they're actually just even early releases. Those coins are like $2,000. Okay, those coins are significantly more valuable. And so every single extra thing adds to the value because it adds to the collectability. It decreases the amount of quantity that's available. And this coin is an absolute perfect example of that. And the fact is since it's 100% exclusive to us here at HSN, for this coin, Proof 70, first day of issue ANACS, this is the absolute, positive, guaranteed lowest price available any place on the planet because it's the only price until it sells out, in which case it will, and that is it will, in which case this is the wholesale price. This is the price everybody paid. And so then after that, of course, the secondary market then takes over. The secondary market then takes over, which I think is critically important for you to understand with that. So please understand what you're getting with this. You're getting a unique numismatic opportunity, an absolutely perfect condition, in an exclusive presentation of first day of issue with, of course, our flag core that you're going to have. The pre-sell out from the United States Mint makes this an absolute positive, a collectible for a generation. Once again, one of those watershed numismatic moments, that is so rare in United States Mint history. It happens just every now and then, like this change of design. So we talk about like the Roosevelt dime. That design hasn't changed for 80 years, 75 years. They just don't change things. The Mint is loath to change things. This is a huge change. The most popular collectible silver coin in the world today, and this is the change in design. 35 years in the making, and by law, for another 25 years, they can't change it again. That's a great camera angle. See how embossed, in essence, or not embossed, but see how raised the eagle looks on that. I mean, it actually shows just the relief that's on this coin. The United States Mint has really gone out of its way to do this incredible, incredible design. Emily Damstra, as a matter of fact, designed that coin. It's absolutely, Michael Gaudioso is the engraver on that. They have to do a designer and engraver. And of course, the front, their initials are on the back. And for the very first time on the front, we've got right under the God We Trust, it looks like a West Point mint mark, but it's not. It's an AW. That's the Adolph Wyman who designed that coin That design first appeared in 1916 on the Walking Liberty half dollar. So incredibly beautiful, so incredibly collectible, so incredibly desirable that it was reprised under orders from President Ronald Reagan and the Liberty Coin Act when it was signed in 1985. They reprised that design because it was considered to be so beautiful. The obverse remains the same. I mean, you know, changes in numismatics comes very slowly. We'll change the back. We're not changing the front. We're going to leave that for at least 60 years, okay, is what that comes down to. So that's going to remain the same for over a half century. 25 years from now, somebody else hopefully will be on here selling coins. It certainly won't be me, and they'll be able to give you another design on the American Silver Eagle.
You know, I was thinking about this, Mike, and, you know, I'd have to do, you know, a little reflection, but I think I have, at my age, because I'm getting closer to 60 than not, I've lived through more solar and lunar eclipses, celestial speaking, than there have been epic watershed changes in imagery on this coin. So
right, on most U.S. coins.
Right, but I mean, seriously, so you think about it in terms of what's going on in the galaxy. I've lived through more eclipses than we've seen in terms of epic and landmark design changes. And
well,
not only that,
they haven't changed the Kennedy half dollar in our lifetime.
Oh, yeah,
the Roosevelt
right.
dime, either one of us, the Roosevelt dime has been exactly the same since we were born. And I'm well older than you are. Okay?
Never.
And so you understand, when I'm talking about glacial in change, when we're hoping for a snail's pace, I mean, that's not, that, you know, that is not, I'm not hyping up anything right there. That is just 100% the facts.
Well, and Mike, that's kind of why I make that analogy is, so if you are new to the world of coin collecting, if that helps this resonate with you, I mean, just so you have an understanding of, like Ron Burgundy would say, this is kind of a big deal. I mean, this is a big deal. It's a big deal. And when it is a big deal, and here's the other thing, you know how home and real estate values change? I mean, you can throw, you know, a different coat of paint on your house. You can change the landscaping. You can do a lot of things, you know, to the foundation or the interior to increase the value of your home. This is perfect. So when you buy a coin, it's not like you can do anything to like, oh, improve the grade or whatever. And with all respect to Bo Derek, I mean, she was a 10. That's a subjective, you know, designation, if you will.
No, it's not. She was a 10.
Yeah, she was 10. Okay, see, you know, it is Mike Mezak verified that Bo Derek was and is a 10. So, okay,
no
Deke is second. He's like a 10, maybe even 11. I think I saw, you know, a secondary, you know, digit go up there. But I guess my whole point is this: if you're getting perfect, and that's on that 70-point grading scale, you are getting perfect. You are getting perfect. You are getting limited edition. You're getting sold out. Remember, you know, going back to that movie analogy, and that's I love how you parlayed onto that, Mike. Is, you know, we're not even talking about, you know, the availability to see it on a different day, or, you know, maybe go to a different theater or drive to a different, you know, city to see it. We're talking about it's sold out. It's sold out. It's sold out. And
sold out is sold out.
Sold out is sold out. And I will tell you this, in this your first primetime airing, easily by the time that clock expires, we'll probably be through at least a third of the inventory. And I go back to my point that, remember, a lot of people, I would say more people than not, shop after the fact with these shows. So I always look at it this way. With FlexPay, at least it gives you the benefit of knowing you get and you reserve and you will receive the limited availability that we have. And then moving forward, if you decide for whatever reason you know, it's not your cup of tea or whatever, you decide that you do want to send it back, there is a 30-day unconditional money back guaranteed. Nobody's going to harangue or harass you. We even print the return labels here at HSN. You could also send it across the miles. So if you are starting to think for grads and for dads, I mean, definitely, this is a really good one to consider because it checks all of the boxes or many of the major boxes. And Mike, maybe you could just kind of broad stroke summarize those for us. It's the method of manufacturing, it's the quality, it's the availability. When we say it checks every single box, this one really kind of does, doesn't it?
It really does. And remember, proof is not a method of manufacture or a condition, but a method of manufacturing. So it's not just a really good regular Silver Eagle. This is the collector version as determined by the United States Mint. It's struck multiple times under higher pressures to do that. It's certified perfect within that. It's first day of issue, exclusivity of presentation, exclusivity of provenance, exclusivity of grade, all of those things in a sold out limited edition from the United States Mint. It is pure collectibility.
It absolutely is. So I just really want to encourage you. I know I get caught up in the information. I listen and learn along with you. That's why I always kind of joke. I like to get Mike out here right away because he is the king of coins. And this is a really great opportunity, but you just don't let it pass you by. I know a lot of us make lists, especially with our coin collector. This is one you should strike now with iron's hot, you know, just to make sure that you get it and reserve it while it is still in inventory. 808-175. Of course, when I said more people than not shop with Mike, even when he's not here, because it's rare that we have him in prime time. And so this is a lot of fun for me to not only have Mike in prime time, but on a weekend. So it's a rare chance for you to discover what we do in the world of coin collecting. And if there is something specific that you're looking for, if you're already an avid collector, or if you want to rewind and watch some of the presentations online, hsn.com is a great way to do that because that coin vault is always open for business. All right, we are scooting along, and remember, it is 2 hours of our primetime coin collector tonight on a rare week.